Well, break's over. We're back on the road. I couldn't do much. You know, when I got home, you know, the places that I wanted to go to were mostly closed down. You know, I was hoping to get like a haircut. I wanted to go down to the optometrist, get some new glasses, you know, but like all that stuff was like shut down. Going to a grocery store would have been just scary because you know, I kept seeing articles saying you know, there's employees with the coronavirus. I couldn't even wander around much outside because you know, the whole week was rain, so I was kind of confined to a house for 5 days. Yesterday I went down to go have lunch with my mother, and work called me and they said that a driver was broke down in Elko, Nevada. So I told them that I could leave early, get on that down there. Pick up his load, heading over to Oakland. Well, you know, the route to Elko goes from Mountain Home down to pretty much Elko itself. This is Nevada 225. Was like Idaho 91. This is actually the first time I've been on this route. And as you can tell, I'm going through a mountain pass. Very, very windy mountain pass. Got a bit of snow going on around here too. I started seeing the snow, I think, in the last 30 miles of Idaho. Yeah, I got all fired up and went down, grabbed my trailer, and just started driving. It's just barely getting light. It's a good thing it's getting to be light in this section. I don't think I'd want to drive this in the dark. But that's how it is. I had my 5 days off. Now it's time to drive until about June. One of the fun things is that I ended up getting my truck stuck in my own yard. We were trying to rearrange a few things, and I decided to go park it over in the yard instead of the driveway. I didn't even think about it with all that rain, but just the sheer weight of the truck alone sunk it, and I couldn't get it out. We had to call a tow truck out there to hook me up and drag me out. 4-foot hole in the yard where the right side steer tire went in. That's you know, that's the one that really went down. It's the one that stopped me. All the other tires were actually still above ground pretty well, but the right steer tire was like going for China. But we pulled it out, checked everything over, it all looks good. Now I'm on the road, going through one hell of a curvy mountain pass. I didn't really know what to expect on this road. It's been a fascinating drive so far. Got the cat back on the truck. You know, I took her into the house for those few days. Got her back on the truck, and you know, for like the last 3 hours, 4 hours or so, she's been glued to my lap, wanting attention so bad. So you know, I don't really spend as much time with her at the house. I'm out in the living room. She doesn't like going out there too much because there's 3 other cats in the house, and they all bully her. One thing, this is just nothing like US 95. Has a lot more straight lines, more open road. Got some nice scenery though. Keep seeing all these signs saying 25 miles per hour. I watched that trailer. But the mission for today is to get down to Elko. There's a Kenworth down there. That's where I'm heading. The trailer should be sitting on a yard, and hopefully the driver just stuck the paperwork in the back hatch door. I just gotta go down there, drop this trailer off, pick up the other one, make sure I've got the paperwork and all that. They said that with as early as I'm leaving, I should actually be able to make the appointment time still. You know, they were all talking about rescheduling, but with as early as I left, I mean, I should be able to leave really early in the morning. Oh, look at that. I should be able to get up and over Donner's Pass without much of an issue. What we got out there in the lake? Looks like a couple of geese. Yep. Probably out of lag. I mean, caution, following distance. Ain't nothing in front of me. Here comes my son. Looks like we're finally going to open up a little bit. Made sure to load up on my coffee before I left the house. Get that good home brewed stuff. A couple more over here. Just hanging out. Just kind of grabbed everything that I had in the house, threw into a bunch of random spots. The laptop was still trying to load up like two more of my videos. I had to use the tablet, you know, switch over to hotspot mode. Have that thing finishing. Man, that was one squish rabbit. See that? Yeah. Boy, I tell you, the temperature sure has gone down too. So I think I started about 30 degrees this morning. It's now down to 15. Of course, you know, I'm pretty sure a lot of that is because of the reservoir. Cold water is going to drop the ambient temperature of the surrounding area. There you go. There's your scenery for the morning. Mountain range in the sunrise. That's why I drive. Drive for those though. Damn those beeps. Spent the other day in my Land Rover so I can drive around beep free. I think the seals are going bad on the doors though, because I was getting a mighty bad backdraft when I was driving around. Elko 64. We're getting closer. Once I pick up that load, I mean, it's just gonna be 80. I wonder what little town this is. If I had to guess, I would say it's probably a reservation. Shoshone. Took the Lamb over. I drove down into town. I needed to pick up a few things, and like the town itself was like just getting overran by turkeys. A bunch of turkeys all over the place. Took a picture of one of them, and then I came back up and see we had like 8 deer by the house. Got a neighbor that's got a bunch of I guess they're called like the Scottish Highland cow. It's the cow that's like really super hairy. Has the horns. He's got a bunch of those. One of them was outside of the pen, standing next to the road. Tried to stop him, say hi to him, see what was going on. At least, for getting back onto the road, we're off to a good start. We had all that turbulent weather for the past 5 days. So for the first day back, plus with clear skies and no wind. Really quiet road to drive on. for today is to get down to Elko, grab that trailer, and then probably make it all the way over to Fernley. I'll deal with Donna's Pass in the morning. I'm gonna take a look on the website, see what conditions are like for them, because we had, you know, it's like I said, we had all those storms come through. If it was snowing up in my area a little bit, it's probably a pretty good chance that Donna's Pass got some snow. They might be trying to clean it. I'm gonna need my sunglasses early now. The open stretches like this with no other traffic on it. Just sit back and enjoy the ride. And in other news, apparently Idaho had a earthquake the other day. We had it was a 6.4. Everybody but me apparently felt it. I think I was in the truck at the time when it happened. You know, I was driving around, and my stepmom came out, and she said that the house was shaking. Thought maybe it was because of the truck, you know, but it turns out it was actually an earthquake. The last big one we had was in '83, and I slept through that one. So that's 2 earthquakes in Idaho that I never noticed. It's also the second time I've been in an earthquake in the last year, because I was down in Barstow when California had the big one that shook up LA a bit. I definitely felt that one though, because I had just parked at the Flying J down in Barstow, and was sitting back on my bed. You know, the truck was sitting there bobbing around, and I was like, what the hell's going on? You know, I thought somebody was hitting me or something. Moved up the front seat, you know, see what was going on, and all I see is a bunch of semis doing a little dance. Looks like we possibly have highway patrol here. Crew that takes care of the snow on the freeway. The area is so remote that you gotta put up houses for the crew. Yep, I think for a little while I'm gonna leave this be. I mostly turned on the camera because I wanted to show that pass I was going through. I think I had a good 30 miles or so, with all those sharp little corners. Who knows? Maybe something interesting will pop up again up here. But if not, I will talk to you guys later. We're back for another quick segment. I'm bringing up the camera at this point in time. This is a house I want to show. I don't think I've passed it yet. It should be over here on my left. I might be in a totally wrong city, but we'll go ahead and just roll for a couple minutes, see if anything happens. But in any case, it's a little after 11 now. And that's 11 a.m. Pacific Standard, because Nevada runs on PST. Even though I'm right directly south of Idaho. It's great how time zones work. I've already picked up the load from Elko. And this is kind of a fascinating one, actually. It looks like it's a two-stop. I gotta talk to him about that because there's two things going on. One, my nav is not routing me to the first place. Now, I looked it up on Google Map, and apparently this warehouse is in the middle of a residential district. There are very specific instructions that you must take to get there. A lot of drivers have posted these instructions in the view section, and this here is a perfect example why I say it's always good to Google Map the place that you're going to. Yeah, being a residential area, there's a lot of streets that I can't drive on there, so I have to get off at a certain exit and go around and come in from a certain way. I guess once I'm there, I'm supposed to shut off the truck and the reefer, because of noise. if you ask me, I mean, this is like a crappy spot to send a reefer truck. You know, we're all kind of noisy like that. So yeah, there's probably gonna be a video on that, because I'm not even really sure where the truck docks at. We'll see once we get there. It's gonna be real fascinating. But here's the thing: is this is a two stop load, and the nav isn't even bringing up the second place at all. Like it doesn't even exist. Now I'm gonna call them and just confirm. You know, I mean, I can always do a manual address. I don't always trust the manual address. It's not always correct. In fact, today is actually a very good example, because the address that I had for the Kenworth actually didn't even take me to the Kenworth. It was about 2 miles in the other direction. I had to stop, and lucky for me, there was a gas station where I was at that had parking for trucks and stuff like that. So I stopped there, and again I did a Google search just to find out where it actually was. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out why this guy up here suddenly putting on the brakes. That might be why. Let's figure out what's going on here. I wonder if they're just simply doing like a warning thing. That's about what it looks like to me. Yeah, it looks like they're just simply saying, yeah, there's some road work up here, you know, so slow down for it. Got nothing to do with us at all. So hopefully things will go up. Okay there. You know, it's probably I'm gonna have to use the Google map to get as far in as possible, but the main thing that I gotta do is go back on the review page and manually write down the instructions for the last part. The very last part, you know, when I get off of the last exit, because chances are even Google is going to mess me up, and it's going to try to send me through a no truck zone. And to make matters worse, I guess some of the reviews are saying that a cop sits in an area and waits for, you know, truck drivers who come in blindly. I think if you were like a private driver, you know, that would probably be a low that you would probably want to refuse. Some of them, you know, are just really not worth it. Maybe you like the challenge, huh? Who knows, right? she's a pretty light load too. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna see the house. Maybe I'll find it later on. There's a house on I-80 that I would like to show. It's actually been in certain magazines. The guy who lives in it built the entire thing himself, and on top of that, he built it all using recycled parts. The entire house is nothing but recycled parts. You know, I think like he found like old bags of concrete for most of the walls and stuff. Rumble strips. And rumble strips. Boom, 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 boom. And we're down to 55. But I do know like a few things about it. Like his back wall is all lit up because what he did was that he had laid like a bunch of beer bottles on their sides, and so they, you know, it's gonna have like a bunch of little tiny windows all spread throughout there. But I guess the guy is really self-sufficient. You know, it's yeah, I know I'm going a little fast. You know, he only spends something like, I don't know, like $50 or $500 a year or something like that. Has his own garden. Just goes around to like old sites of junkyards and grabs like a bunch of random things, and you know, and just adds them to his house. It's and I was fairly sure that it was over by Winnemucca. Which is the area that I just passed. We should be seeing the TA coming up here. In fact, that's probably it right there in front of me. As for the load itself, see, it was due today. And I saw a message a little while ago. Yeah, it's telling me that it's going to be on the 3rd tomorrow. Oh, that's okay. That was for the second stop. The first stop is like 10 a.m. The second stop is like noon. That shouldn't be too bad. The only thing I'm kind of wondering is what I should do for leaving time. Who knows? I mean, you know, the whole area might still be under quarantine, which means that if I leave for as early as I do, you know, as early as I generally do when it comes to going into the Bay Area, then I may show up really massive early, and I guess that's also kind of a no-no for this first place I'm going to. Hey, he's actually moving at a pretty good clip, isn't he? I don't think I've ever seen one of those guys move that fast. So I think what I could do is do what I always do. Leave like a couple of hours early, and if it looks like I'm doing really awesome on my drive, I might stop at a parking area on 80 and take like an hour break. You know, I hate to burn an hour like that, but you know, it's always better to be safe than sorry, right? I'm looking at this mountain here in front of me, and I mean, the whole thing looks like it's got like a brand new spanking fresh batch of snow. Looks really nice. The only thing that kind of worries me about that is there's a possibility that Donner's Pass got a brand new batch of snow too. What I'll probably do with Donner's is, since I'm planning on stopping at Fernley at night, I could actually probably make it all the way to Reno. I don't really care for the truck stops in Reno, but I'm gonna stop in Fernley. What I'll probably do is bring up the website for Donner's Pass. You know, they always have like a bunch of cameras. You can get on there and do a visual check and see how things look. See if they got any special restrictions or anything. Why, they got a bunch of road work out here, don't they? Nevada's gonna rebuild its freeway. Getting up and moving at 4 a.m. this morning was apparently overkill. But then again, I couldn't have determined that my time change would end up being like 10 a.m. It just means that tonight I'm going to be able to get a lot of sleep. What I'll probably do is whip out my tablet and get my Netflix all signed up on it. I decided to bring my my Netflix account back up. You know, especially since I got this tablet. It's something that where if I show up at a shipper or a receiver and I'm sitting there for hours, you know, I just grab the tablet, just set it right on top here, and you know, watch something. Well, actually, I can't do it in this seat. I would have to move over to the cat seat or go back into the sleeper. You can't sit in the seat and be off duty. Looks like most of the work is bridge work. Yeah, here's a little TA. This is actually a pretty common stop for me. A lot of parking. You'd be pretty hard pressed to show up here late at night and not be able to find a parking space. You know, you see all those slots out there. You got people all the way back in the dirt area. You got dirt parking over here where the Swift is. The only downside is that that particular TA does not have like a diner, like a Country Pride. So if you do show up late at night, they have two fast food places. Do they? Yeah, I think they got they definitely got a Taco Bell. That's usually what I get, and I believe that they got a Subway too. But the thing is both of those shut down at like 10, maybe even 9. So again, if you show up really late at night, you're probably gonna have to go hungry, or grab nuts or something like that. Even the hot plate is usually shut down by a certain time. I'm gonna pass you up, buddy. Yeah. What's in my rearview mirror? But usually, if I can't make it to the pilot, that's in Winnemucca, then that's usually my next best stop. I gotta clean the inside of my windows. My windows were all frosty this morning. I'm sitting there rubbing it, trying to rub the frost off, so that I could actually see out the window. Yeah, that tow truck that just went by, that looked like the same type that came up to my house yesterday to help get me unstuck. It was a real quick job. All he had to do was put a hook in the bumper and then bring out his cable and winch me out. The only reason why I couldn't move on my own was because my tire on this side was like almost completely buried. The rest of the tires were all up higher. It's just that one was so far down, you know, it was trapped. It was trapping the entire truck. And you would think that having a 4x6 truck would mean that you're a total boss in like off-road conditions, but that's not how the differentials work on semis. I think he's up here. I think this is his place. So one time I wanted to show you guys. I'm gonna get blocked. Yeah, this is him. This is him right here. I knew I was fairly close. Yeah, so all this is built by this one guy. He just goes around and builds all the stuff. And that's his house. That is his actual house. He just keeps building on it. And then there's that thing, whatever that is. You know, and it's just really fascinating. It's just something that this guy's been working on for like 20 or 30 years or more. You know, he just gets stuff from around town or whatnot, goes back and adds to his house. Alright, that was my fun for the day. What you see before you is pretty much what I'm going to be looking at for the rest of the day. A couple hills on my left, a couple hills on my right, but you know, this section is more or less straight. It can actually be quite boring. Not to mention the worst part about it is that this whole area is like a huge dead zone for my phone. So I can't even call anyone, talk to them. I always have a huge problem out here. But I think I'll call it quits for the recording today. And I'll start at some point in time tomorrow. I don't know if I'll do anything on Donna's Pass itself, or I may just start later on in the Bay Area. I guess really it just kind of depends on how Donna's looks. So I will talk to you guys later.